Hi guys, this is Forrest Stomp for LoLstatsGG with the first episode of Post-Game Analysis, which is a weekly series about the most exciting games in either the EU or NA LCS. So what is this all about? Well, we will go through the game-changing highlights of a certain game and I will try to break down what happened and what was the deciding factor. This week's episode takes a deeper look at the EG vs TSM game of day 1 of the NA LCS week 4. Not only was this game more than exciting, it also provides interesting strategies on both sides as well as dynamic turns depending on the phase of the game. So let's start right away. At first we need to take a look at the lineups for both teams. On EG side they went for the following: the Soraka Urgot bot lane combined with the Fizz in mid lane, Snoopeh on Pantheon in the jungle and Renekton in the top lane for InnoX. TSM's lineup on the other hand, the Sivir Thresh bot lane in combination with the LeBlanc for Bjergsen in mid, Wukong for TheOddOne in the jungle and Shyvana for Dyrus in top lane. The first thing I thought when looking at the EG lineup: wow, these guys need to end the game quickly, otherwise they are pretty much done. When asked, I would call the EG team something like hard engage, mid-game pick-up comp. As Xpecial stated in the post-game interview, TSM knew right from the start that they just need to get to minute 30 and the game was pretty much over for EG. Renekton, Pantheon and Urgot are champions known for scaling very well into mid-game, but simply get blown up by Shyvana, LeBlanc, Wukong and Sivir when this match gets into late game. High risk, high reward. But what did EG do wrong? Where did they fail to convert their mid-game strength into a sustainable game-winning lead? Let's take a look at the highlights of the game. Minute 340. First blood for Pobelter with the help of Snoopeh. Besides the fact that Bjergsen has double the CS, Pobelter gets the early lead in lane. Since Bjergsen had such an early CS lead, they both re-enter the lane with the same items, with Pobelter having the extra bit of sustain in form of a fully stacked flask. 3 minutes later, Bjergsen manages to turn his experience lead into a level 6 1v1 kill on Pobelter. Despite having the same items, Bjergsen constantly zones EG's mid from creep experience, which ends up giving him the early level 6, while Pobelter should have stayed back till Snoopeh arrives or he got 6 himself. I want to point out that the Fizz LeBlanc matchup is very harsh for Fizz. Besides auto attack zoning plus quick QW combos by Bjergsen, Fizz heavily relies on his E ability to play for Trickster, which obviously can't be used while being silenced. It's pretty much Pobelter waiting for Bjergsen to get him low and bursting him before he can even react to anything. Roughly 1 minute later, Snoopeh gets his second round of buffs, which should end up in him man dropping in either mid or bot lane to secure Dragon right away. Unfortunately, a well-known bug hinders EG's plans when Krepo flashes in for the silence to prevent Xpecial from flashing. Xpecial flashes anyway, which shouldn't be possible after all. Minute 8:50. TheOddOne rotates bot, Turtle pops his ultimate, Yellowpete manages to flash away into safety. 2 minutes later, Snoopeh's second gank attempt is successful. No flash on Xpecial make him an easy target, with Pobelter roaming bot 2, EG wants to secure Dragon. What happens next seems like a bit of miscommunication on TSM's part. Engaging in a 3v4 with Soraka ultimate being up doesn't seem like a best idea. Not only does Sivir gets blown up right away from the start, followed by a failed flash by WildTurtle, Bjergsen didn't even arrive to the fight when both TheOddOne and Turtle already committed to it, making it a 2v4 and a 1v4 in the end. Free Drake plus 2 kills results in a solid 1k gold lead for the mid-game terror squad of AG. Minute 12:45. As rough as this may sound, Pobelter unfortunately throws the little lead EG just earned right out of the window when dying in a 1v1 to LeBlanc once again. What happens now is probably even worse though. Snoopeh tries to catch low HP fleeing Bjergsen with his ultimate. While Bjergsen needs to blow his flash to escape, Snoopeh wastes his ultimate, which could have been used to pressure bot once again or even counter gank TheOddOne if needed. At this point, Pantheon's ultimate is the most vital thing to EG's comp, not available for another 150 seconds. 1 minute later, as a logical reaction, TheOddOne goes bot, expecting Snoopeh to not enter the fight quickly enough to actually turn it. Little did he know, Yellowpete had different plans. After swapping in Thresh, Snoopeh arrives just in time to pick up 2 kills as well as 1 for Yellowpete. Thanks to Urgot's tanky-like base stats combined with the passive armor buff provided by Soraka, Yellowpete manages to live long enough. With every other AD carry, this would have ended up being a disaster. What makes this trade unworthy for EG, despite the fact that it was a 2 for 3, is that with a mid-game centric comp like this, you should be the initiator and not the one being initiated on. If Snoopeh still had his ultimate, the Urgot Swap Pantheon man drop combo would have been deadly. With Wukong and Sivir scaling into late game like crazy, you can't afford dying at this point of the game. By the way, at this point Bjergsen is up 46 CS, translated into gold. This is more than a kill. Minute 16, another gank attempt by TheOddOne, followed by a nice play by Yellowpete, swapping himself out of a dangerous situation, but once again this is way too passive for the EG lineup. Urgot ultimate down for another 2 minutes. 1 minute later, Snoopeh with the nice flash over the Wraith wall and a turnaround kill onto Bjergsen, making it a 2k gold lead in favor of EG. Solid but not enough quite yet in the big picture. Meanwhile in top, InnoX manages to take the tier 1 top tower, making it a nearly 3k gold lead. At this point EG is heading into the right direction. While putting pressure onto 2 lanes, EG manages to take another dragon, making it nearly a 4k gold lead eventually. Now that's the mid game lead EG was hoping for. Seems like TSM is now on their back foot. But what follows roughly 30 seconds later is the worst thing to happen at that point of the game for EG. After Yellowpete gets killed while overextending in bot lane, both Wukong and LeBlanc roam top to get hold of Pantheon and Renekton. OddOne pops his ult, Dyrus goes in, Bjergsen picks up Snoopeh. After that, nice play by Pobelter, juking Bjergsen and getting the kill, followed by him getting killed in the process. Top lane tower falls, a 3 for 1 trade, bye bye 4k gold lead. TSM manages to even out in terms of gold by mainly out-rotating EG. After Dyrus pushes back InnoX in mid, the tower falls, while EG manages to take the bot tower. What happens now can be seen as the downfall of EG's mid-game comp. If you are not able to win teamfights and skirmishes at the 21 minute mark, you won't win them later, at least not with the team comp EG is running against TSM. After Yellowpete engages onto TheOddOne, with Wukong getting out alive and Pobelter blowing his ultimate on the Wukong Cyclone, EG is now on their back foot. At the same time, Snoopeh gets caught in his own jungle by Bjergsen, who nearly kills him. After InnoX arrives to the party, Dyrus jumps over the dragon wall to eventually pick up both Renekton and Pantheon, going 3-0-3. Meanwhile, the bot lane skirmish continues, with Xpecial and Turtle both dying to Pobelter. After all, a 2 for 3 trade in favor of EG. But once again, that's simply not enough, especially with Sunfire and Spirit Visage already completed on Shyvana around the minute 20. Nobody on EG can stop Dyrus anymore at this point. Had this been a 5v5 from the beginning, well, probably this would have ended up being pretty nasty for EG, to say the least. Minute 24, Dragon just spawned. TSM is actively seeking for a 5v5. Said, done. Turtle pops his ultimate and TSM goes for Snoopeh right away. This is the fight TSM wants. Dyrus on Shyvana is melting through the EG lineup. He's simply too big at this point. And by the way, Sivir leaves the fight with 100% HP. For some reason, Yellowpete leaves the fight to chase LeBlanc. Pobelter gets picked up by Dyrus. A triple kill for him at this point. Xpecial cleans up Yellowpete for the 1 for 5 ace. TSM pretty much played that perfectly. Besides EG not seeing it coming, they abused the fact that Pantheon isn't even close to being able to tank for the EG backline. He gets deleted right away, while Dyrus enables WildTurtle to DPS freely over the curse of the teamfight. Well played, TSM. When Snoopeh dies 1 minute later at the enemy blue buff without achieving anything, Jed is asking the right question.
What were they doing? That was a unfortunate move right there. Snoopeh actually tried to ult in and get a kill onto Bjergsen, but it ends up costing his life. So pressing a little bit too hard, I feel like, EG right now. Still pressing up at a turret. Here comes TSM.
Again, the on the hunt is on, and they don't want to waste any time. A good flash on the hook, but that means it's going to get scarier for the escapes. Pobelter on the backside. InnoX getting torn down. Dyrus, again, is just unkillable in the fight. Krepo doesn't have that heal we saw last time.
2 minutes later, deja vu. Sivir pops her ultimate, TSM rushes in, obliterates EG, a 8-0 Shyvana plus Baron buff, a 9k gold lead. That's it, it's only a matter of time till TSM pushes through. At this point, EG could remind you of a bunch of headless chickens. Look at where all of EG is standing when WildTurtle is taking the tier 2 top lane tower solely by himself. After picking up Thresh in mid lane and taking Dragon as a consequence, EG trades 3 for 1 despite Xpecial not even being in the fight, making it a 4v5 for TSM from the get-go. Dyrus goes 10-0-9, 350 armor and over 4k HP. At one point of the fight, Dyrus 1v4s all of EG, with him leaving the fight with 3/4 of his HP. This game is pretty much over.
Trying to find solace on the left side here of the tri-brush. Bjergsen coming over the wall, but it's Pobelter going back in. The kill's going out, and now he's fighting the clone. InnoX with the clone kill. Pobelter with the real kill. 17-25, and TSM still loses one in that fight, but they get 3.
Yeah, and that was a 4v5.
The clean ace for TSM 3 minutes later just underlines that. 36 minutes into the game, EG finds themselves surrendering to the 31 kills strong TSM team. After all, EG put up a great fight, no doubt. Keep in mind, TSM is currently the #1 team in NA. While running an unusual bottom lane with a neat tactic behind it, EG failed to gain a big enough lead to sustain it through the mid-game. A potential game-changing factor could be a more favorable matchup for Pobelter in mid lane, giving Snoopeh time to concentrate on bot. Too many ultimates were wasted by EG without no actual effect on the game besides not dying. GG, well played, both teams. So guys, I hope you liked the first episode of the post-game analysis series. If you did, make sure to subscribe to LoLstatsGG or even my channel youtube.com/Forrest Stomp for more content like this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.